Hey, deserving listeners, Love is Blind UK, let's watch. By the way, Love is Blind Season 7 US is coming out October 2nd, and I am still watching this show, so I think that my reaction videos to Love is Blind Season 7 US will come out 1 or 2 weeks after the beginning of Love is Blind Season 7, if that makes any sense. So I'm wondering if this reaction video will come out after the US version has already been published, and so I'm worried that people will think I'm not going to watch the US version. I will be watching. I've already talked about this, but I just wanted to reassure people in case they were wondering. Plus, when I do start to publish those episodes, it'll be 2 a day, 7 days a week, and we'll do, aside from a couple slots there for Sister Wives, but I will be doing some live Q&As during that time as well, just to kind of celebrate the Love is Blind universe. So let's watch Love is Blind UK, Season 1.
Do you promise to always prioritize your marriage above all else?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I figured as much. It would have been a real twist if they said no, or if he said no. And I would bet a lot that she's going to say yes as well.
I do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They were the first to get engaged, right? Or the first that they showed in the edit. But, yeah.
Maria, to be your wife. Will you celebrate all of life's joys and triumphs with her and be her source of comfort and support, no matter what challenges life may bring? And do you vow to cherish and nurture your love for her for all the days of your lives?
I will say that the on-location camera work is better than the past, or it's improved over the years. I don't know, just a random observation. I'm kind of worried about this because the way that the two of them have been talking, I think Maria is a yes and he is a no. He's going first, but yeah, I'd be real surprised if, well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he's swept away in the moment and...
I love you.
That it's funny. It's a nice thing to say, but it's not a good sign.
I just feel like right now is not the right time for me. We've had some differences in values, and I haven't had enough time to really understand how those differences will affect our life day to day.
Okay, yeah. I just feel like you should have this conversation before the altar. I don't know. Because I think her family, I still can't tell if she was going to be a yes. It really seemed like she was going to be a yes with all the things that she was saying. So, do they have to just leave someone at the... Can't they just walk... Maybe just walk sideways, not like down the aisle, just like... They should both just say, oh, and walk out side doors. Or just leave her there.
I wanted to get married. I wanted to be a wife, and I feel incredibly sad that I didn't get the ending that I always sort of pictured for myself. But I know it probably wasn't the right time for both of us. Like, I honestly, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, she seems... Well, she says she's shocked, so it was something that she wasn't detecting. And I think what happened is that he decided a while back that he was likely a no, and he remained cordial and you know, liked her. You know, it's a weird thing to think about, that there's different levels of liking someone, right? In the typical way, you start dating and you might really, really like someone and like spending time with them and, be intimate. And yet you think, well, this relationship isn't going to last forever. This isn't really someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with for one reason or another. But whenever I'm with them, if I just think about in the moment, I absolutely have a great time, and I do love this person. So I think he kind of entered into that mode, and I think she interpreted it naturally as if they were simpatico on the yes. But from the edit, I think she overlooked some major signs, some things that were being said. Maybe she expected that he would be more disclosing about that. But yeah, I get it. And the whole premise of the show is you're not supposed to reveal until you're at the altar. So I don't know, I just feel bad for her.
When I had children, my concern would be that if I had a boy, she would teach him to kind of pay for most things when my lad would be like dating for the first time. Likewise, if I had a little girl, then I wouldn't want that little girl to expect that the guy pays for everything. I'd want to raise that girl as a strong, independent woman that contributes herself.
Right, well, it ended well there, because at first I'm like, so you didn't marry her because you were worried about raising your kids to pay for dates in a different way than you would want to? But I think more broadly is what he said later, which is that he wanted to raise kids with a more, I don't know what word we want to put to it, but not that way in general, right, on the broader scale. It makes me wonder if they had more time, if she could have adjusted, or he could have adjusted, and or he was extrapolating from one instance to a larger pattern that he wasn't in contact with and didn't know existed. But, given the way that she was talking, I could see how, in all likelihood, there would be a larger pattern. I also imagine that for him, it wasn't that she had that point of view. It was that the way that she communicated about it. She just assumed that he should know when they, I don't think, had talked about it before, the breakfast thing. Plus she offered to pay. She's like, I'll pay for breakfast. And he's like, okay. And then she was angry at him for a while, according to the story. So I think that might have overall just been a concern. But yeah, it would be kind of a tragedy if that's the only difference, if there was compatibility. There's also a possibility that either consciously or unconsciously he is concerned about the class thing or the job thing or the wealth thing. He, in his vows, said that she has helped him to understand that way of thinking. I mean, he didn't say this directly, but he seemed to be saying that she had helped him to realize that way of thinking was flawed. So maybe he changed his mind on that, but I don't know. There's some incompatibilities there, and I think you should just cut your losses, right?
Both shall live.
I always do this. The next episode, we're ready to go. So let's just skip to that.
Him, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live.
The way she's been talking, there's a chance that she'll say no. I would give it a 50-50. If it weren't for all the other things that she said and did prior to this, I would think definitely she was going to say no. But there are a lot of indicators that she was going to say yes. But then at the last minute, she kept saying, but I remember Colleen and Matt, and the day of the wedding, Colleen kept saying, or I thought I was seeing signs that she was a no. So what do I know? If she does say no, I think it would be because there were some bumps in the road that she was concerned about. But they seem to be doing pretty well post the getaway.
I love you.
It's not a good sign. It's just like Tom. Yeah. Oh, no.
But I do not.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was going to be a yes. It's interesting the order that they go. I heard, I think from the cast, maybe my contact on the show, that they'll have a talk with the couple like the day before or something to decide who's going to go first. So to me, I'm always curious if the other person is going to say yes. But the humane thing to do is to have the no go first, right?
Why?
Yeah, he looks surprised, and I would be too if I were in his shoes. I don't think he had heard the things that she was saying. Let's see what she says.
During this journey, and actually that's testament to you, Ollie. And I know you do love me, and I know you care about me, and I know you appreciate me, but I know what I want from a husband, and I don't think we're quite there, obviously. But it's not, I do not, I'm gonna walk away from you.
I wonder if she'll be more specific. And of course, their contact with each other, we don't see the vast majority of it because it's not filmed or put in the edit of the show. But is she talking about the way that I wonder if she's referring to the beginning when they were having troubles?
And I love you for that. I love you.
I just think she's gonna walk away and leave him there. I mean, they hugged, so that's good. Which makes me wonder if they had the talk and he had to act like he was surprised, or he's just a gracious person, or he was a no as well. I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
The physical attraction you have for one another, why would you not want to get married at this stage? I hope I can speak for both of us when I say we're both so grateful for all of you being here. We are still celebrating our love and our friendship, so we're so glad to have all of you here with us. The journey hasn't changed, just a slight diversion.
Well, now I'm wondering if they talked and decided to date further, and then at the reunion, they'll still be together. I don't know. Has that ever happened? Where they've said no at the altar and then continued? Well, I mean, Raven and SK kind of, but then that became a disaster.
It's not the outcome that would have been traditionally the desired outcome, of course, but everything that we've had up until now has been nothing short of incredible. And, you know, it's not a race. We'll get there at our own pace.
To do you right, though.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what I feel like all the couples should do that, honestly. They should invite none of their family or, you know, tell everyone, well, you can come if you want to, but this is just this is a ceremony to celebrate us being boyfriend-girlfriend.
Good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah, as long as you're up there.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Mwah.
yeah, I got you, yeah?
Yeah, I got you too. Ollie knows I love you.
Yeah, the way he's talking, they must have had a talk, and he must have tried to act like he was shocked. I think because they get a bonus check, not much, if they actually make it to the altar. So they would not tell the producers that they've talked or that they've made a decision yet. So there's that. Or they just felt like they were supposed to. Or they just want a fancy paid wedding, because from my understanding, the show pays for it.
Grow old with her and find new reasons to love her every day.
I think he's a yes. I mean, in the edit, there's been zero ambivalence from him, so it would be out of the blue if he were to say no. Let's see.
I do.
Yeah, okay. Now, the question is she going to say I do? I would put a little bit of money down on a yes for her.
And Jasmine.
But I could see her saying no, but I can't imagine what the reason would be other than that her mom got in her head, which would be awful.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see them working. I think that the lack of drama that we saw indicates that they don't fight much. I could see them, though. I mean, who knows? I never know what to say. Well, of course I know what to say. That's my whole job, is to say shit after I watch clips of... It's late. I'm trying to get through this. I want to watch. The episodes are out, and I've been dying to know what's going to happen. I'm rambling. I don't have enough information of any of these couples, but of the couples that I don't have information, this is one of the couples I have the least amount of information, which makes me wonder how actually close they are as to whether or not they would stay married. But if they're going to be compatible, I can see how she could have her ups and downs, and he seems more steady and just content. But that isn't, that's just surface level impressions.
You keep me believing, yes, you keep me believing. The night
So the way she's talking, it sounds like she is a no, because she's unsure about their compatibility, and particularly his nomad lifestyle, which is a major consideration that they both should consider. Because even if they're highly compatible, there are some people, and he has said this and his family has said it, that he needs to be moving and traveling and never in a fixed place. Now, maybe that'll change, but it doesn't sound like it's going to change anytime soon. There was also a thing with Sabrina and Steven about living in different areas, pretty far away from each other, and they were trying to figure out whether they're going to live in, I think it was London or Belfast. I guess that's one of the benefits of having Love is Blind US, where typically they're in the same town. Although when it was in Seattle, there were some Portland people, so when Brett and Tiffany got married, they had to choose between Seattle and Portland. It sounded like they worked it out, and I think they live in Portland because I think he has a job at Nike or something. Anyway.
You, Benaya, promise to spend your life with Nicole, meeting each new joy and sorrow together, to be a true and faithful partner, and to support Nicole in all of life's circumstances as you face them together.
I think he's a yes. All indications are in that direction. I could see him saying no as a favor to her so that she doesn't have to say no, or they've, I don't know. But I'm gonna guess to say he's gonna say yes.
I do. Of course I do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we'll see what she's gonna say. We'll find out. What am I pulling for? I don't know. Given the way that Ben acted, but that was the only thing, and we don't know what he knows about Sam. So, but the moving thing, I from the sound of it, she's okay with the moving thing. So if she's okay with the moving thing, then I think they'd make a really good couple. Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I do.
Okay, that's good. I think it's good. I hope it's good. Hopefully it'll be good.
And honest, and to love him for the rest of your lives together.
I kind of wish that one of them says no. I think she might get out ahead of this and say no. But the way that she's been talking, I think she might say yes, hoping, given that she talked about her adoption and her heartbreak, and she disclosed before that literally every partner has cheated on her. Everything's headed in the direction of him saying no and her saying yes. He also has been answering questions in a way that would make her believe that he's a yes, but like one of the things that he said was, I believe that everything in my life has led to me being here with you in this moment. These kinds of phrases where looked at in a certain way, it's like love is blind and we're getting married, but from another angle, it looks like it's not really saying that he's going to say anyway. So I kind of wish that she says no, and then he doesn't have to say no. I don't know. We'll see.
I do.
Yeah, well, I am pretty sure he's a no. Now, there's a chance that he's just had some complaints and it's not a big deal overall, and he's an I do, a yes. It's also possible that, given my very loose hypothesis regarding him not knowing what he wants and him being too in service of others, that that's the definition of his life and of his attachments, that he is in service to others and denying the self, that he might say I do when he actually doesn't really want to say I do.
Your lives together.
Plus, if they say yes, yes, then that's 4 marriages, which would be the record, and they would beat Seattle, which we cannot have that. So for that reason, well, that's a terrible thing to say.
I love your cat.
Well, it's the old I love you. What have we seen that before? The 3 people, at least this season, have said I love you, meaning I don't want to marry you.
But at the time, it might not be right for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Given that I think he turned a corner at the party that Sam showed up at, it makes sense. And I do feel bad for her. I worry that this will just compound her issues and make her even more worried in the future about being cheated on and abandoned.
There's still mountains left for us to climb and lessons for us to learn before fully embracing a lifelong commitment. I do love your cat. I just need to be honest to both of us.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, don't hug me. Just say I don't and walk away, please. Get away. I get it. There's a lot of hurt, it's anger. You could also feel tricked. He sent her some jewelry. There were other indicators that made it seem like he was going to say yes. I was interpreting all those moves as him feeling bad and sending jewelry as an apology or something, and she interpreted it as he's going to say yes. I mean, all's fair in this show called Love is Blind, right? That's the thing you're signing up for, that if you go on the show and you get engaged, then the expectation is that you're gonna get to the altar and you're not gonna know from your partner whether they're gonna say I do or not. And they might have decided in their head weeks prior that they're gonna say I don't. That's what you're signing up for. People should know that going into it. I'm sure it's all explained to them. So I don't blame him. He's doing the thing. I think there is a question around the ethics or the morality of going through with it, right? And the incentives, the monetary incentives. I don't know about the UK version, but from the breakdown, from the rumor anyway, someone posted somewhere the actual fee or the payment schedule that they get. I think if they make it to the altar, it's like an extra $3,000 or $5,000 or something. It's not enough to justify. If it was $1 million, then you say, well, hey, But if it's just a few grand, it doesn't seem to justify taking that risk of harming someone. So, I would appreciate it if they would have a conversation beforehand for each other's sake. But it is the expectation. I guess some people might think he's a jerk face for giving her a lot of hints that he might say yes. I mean, people were upset at Bartice for doing that to Nancy. And okay, but it's the expectation of the show. It's what you're supposed to do. Is the ethic or the expectation that you're supposed to give little hints that you're gonna say no, and give no possible indication. I mean, they're at the wedding, right? They've already gotten there. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for her, though. I hope what do I hope? I hope that this doesn't harm her. I hope whatever harm she's had in the past, she heals from. I hope that she has a secure relationship. I could see it working, find someone that's more in her style of life and is willing. So what this says is that she's willing to stick it out, meaning that whatever conflicts they had, which they had, that she was willing to address it, right? Because when they were talking at dinner and she was taking responsibility and then he kind of pushed back against it, she started to clam up after that. But there seemed real potential for her. I mean, she wasn't quite there yet. She was saying, I have this issue and I acknowledge it and I take responsibility for it. So I think that there was a lot of potential there. So I think what she's saying is that whatever problems I have or you have, I'm willing to work on it. So if she can meet someone that's maybe more in her camp of lifestyle and is also willing to work on things, then I could see that working. Because the kinds of problems that she presented, they weren't. I'm trying to think if anyone in this season really presented the kind of stuff that we would see in previous seasons, which makes me feel bad about being an American. I mean, Chelsea means well. She doesn't wake up in the morning and intend to cause issues in her own life, but that was pretty severe. And then the Laura Jeremy thing, and then the Matthew thing. I'm just kind of going through the Trevor thing, which, yeah, the Trevor thing for sure. And, Mackenzie, she was peeing in the pool, right? The Lydia and Alaya and Uche thing, I mean, Jiminy Crickets. Stacy, and JP, and then Renee and Carter got kicked out. Micah and Irina and Jackie and Josh, and there was that. So there was really nothing in this. She was the only one that seemed to present with anything of note, really, right? I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Ben, right? He had that thing, but it's understandable. It wasn't illogical. Bobby and Jasmine seemed like everything's fine. Steven and Sabrina, they're the new Amy and Johnny. And then we had Freddie and Kat, and then Ollie and Demi. That they seemed and they're going to date. I guess we'll find out at the reunion if they're still together. Tom and Maria, some real minor issues, really. The Sam thing, I'm kind of confused by, honestly. They're older, so to preserve my self-esteem, but as American, I'll just say that they're like 5 to 10 years older, and that's what makes them less prone to the problems that we've seen in the U.S. version.
Don't hurt me. Going all the way, what you want instead. It hurts anyway.
Okay.
Crying.
It's a lot, it's intense, man.
Yeah, makes me want to cry. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He feels bad. Yeah.
I'll cry.
And to be honest, if he didn't go down that road and if he said yes, I would have worried about him in a way. I mean, she was willing, but she had a sharp edge to her that just thinking about at that party, the way that went down with him saying that he thought someone was pretty, but right before that, she's going on and on about how Sam looks just like her ex. Oh my God. No harm, no foul if they're both kind of doing that. They could have both been like, oh, let's not talk about Sam or pretty women at this party. Let's just get back to. But then apparently she was miffed for a long time and giving him the cold shoulder and angry. And then she goes over to Sam and that's the sea of desperation that was going on with her. Then it was pretty concerning, I guess, if I think about it. So he presented some issues as well but I think it's attributable to his ambivalence and having a hard time with it, and it would sort of sneak out in these ways. And he was looking for a justification to break up with her instead of just sitting with it and saying, there's no use in blasting her in front of her friends. I've made up my mind, that kind of thing. Also, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. I mean, the way that she was talking, she said that he would be harping on her about being, snapping at him thousands of times. So maybe he's overly critical. I don't know. In fact, the way that he talks about his life is that he's a homebody. And I think he doesn't drink. He doesn't go out. He just likes to stay home and watch sports or TV or hang out with family. So I think he needs someone like that. And, I think they could have worked out if that was their only difference. Anyway, yeah, I feel bad for both of them.
I just want to be on my own. Can I just be on my own, please?
Yes, okay. I'll leave you.
I feel numb. I just feel really unwanted.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it just breaks your heart, whatever sort of issues there are with her personality, no one deserves to feel that way. Not by a long shot. And she's, like I talked about, on another season, she would relatively be one of the more functional people. So there's, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's just terrible. And if she was talking about how she still has some traumas around being put up for adoption by her mom. Her adoptive parents, the way they talked about her, at least the topic sentence was that she was a really easy child. I don't know if they mentioned how old she was when she was adopted, but it sounded early, and it made me wonder if the parents were loving and there for her, but that due to attachment injury, she had turned off from others, sort of enough to not alert others to her emotions, or I don't know. The way they were talking about her is the way you would talk about like a really, really easygoing child. And they're out there, and maybe she's one of them, but she doesn't seem like she'd be one of them. So I wonder if she were, and if she is, maybe she's in therapy, but I wonder if she went on a self-discovery journey, if there would be a lot there for her, a lot of misfortune and defenses that were built up in relation to her being adopted and the way that her adoptive parents were treating her. I mean, her adoptive parents seem lovely, so there's no indication there, but I don't know. I guess of all the people this season, I guess I worry the most about her. Yeah. Well, and now I'm wondering, does Tom end up with Tosh, right? With Natasha? Because they kind of connected at the party. Are we going to see them at the reunion together? I don't know. I'm going off topic. I'm just looking at my outline.
The cat, listening to my sister, to be honest, it was something that I felt anyway. Despite Kat saying that, she doesn't like this sort of materialistic lifestyle, I do think there is an aspect of that about her, and I think the only way I can work out whether that's true or not is with time.
It's weird that he's using the word materialistic. She used that term earlier, and I thought that he might say, I don't mean materialistic, but it sounds like he is. I think they're using that word as a stand-in for just lifestyle. Or does he literally think that, well, maybe that is a thing for him. But I don't know. The level of materialism, if we compare her to Stacy, remember Stacy and Izzy, that was on a whole other level. Remember the dad was saying, well, love doesn't get you first-class tickets or some bullshit like that. We didn't see anything like that from her. All we heard was that she likes to go to sort of bougie nightclubs occasionally or something. It didn't even seem excessive. But regardless, I think they had some issues regarding compatibility, and I think she unfortunately went after him too quickly and was hurtful to him, and it turned him off eventually.
Did you take your earrings out?
Yeah, I took my earrings out. And I took the ring off. I just feel so stupid. Part of me thought he was gonna say yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like part of her thought he was going to say no to the way she's wording it there. Yeah, I could see how it's possible that in the morning she's like, well, I'm pretty sure he's going to say no, but I want to say yes because I feel that way. But I'm pretty sure he's going to say no. And you're mostly okay with it. You've grieved. And then you go up in front of everyone and you're in the dress and there's all the stuff. And then it just hurts even more or brings it all to focus or something.
And equally, I don't either. I don't want you to think for any minute that this decision has been made because I don't love her, because that's not the case.
So what's your future with her now?
I'm hoping that we're still going to pursue a life together, we're still going to live together and make it work.
Oh, well, that's unexpected. Well, now I'm wondering if, because the vibe is, and I have very little to go off of, but the vibe is that he doesn't want to be with her. You know, I've talked about what seems to be a very, I have a very loose hypothesis that he is other focused and not focused on himself and will sacrifice himself for other people, even when it's not good for the other person to do so, like in a situation like this. And that, you know, there's a possibility that he knows enough to know not to get married, but not enough to break up fully. And he will enter into a, you know, ongoing relationship, and then it'll eventually fall apart in some other time because he doesn't really identify yet with the reality that he doesn't want to be with her. Or I'm wrong, and they'll iron out the issues, which is possible to do given what we've seen, and then things work out between the two of them. I don't know.
It's just hard.
I know it's hard, I know, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, look after yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you take care.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Take care.
This is too soon for this kind of joke, but there's some kind of funeral joke in here somewhere, right? Because isn't that what he does for a living, right? Anyway, so they tied with Seattle, so good for them, but they didn't beat Seattle. So, but that's I mean, what a thing that they had 11 couples reportedly, 6 go on the retreat getaway, and then 3 actually get married. Yeah, that's quite something. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.